Yes, so I'm back with another good one. I'm back with another good one. Yes, yes, yes. Back with another good one. Hope everyone's having a blessed afternoon. I am blessed afternoon. So let's get into this. Let's get into this topic, right? This topic is talking about anyone that drunk that Fireboard whiskey and Para Bay, right? And these individuals, the company's individuals, watering it down, right? And they was doing it since 2020, right? And they had these all, they had them all over the local, the stores, the corner stores, the gas station. They had them everywhere. There was Para Bay and the Fireball whiskey. All of them was watered down, basically watered down and probably mixed in with other chemicals that you didn't even know, right? This is an actual true fact. So there's a big class act going on. Anyone that was drinking that, right, are entitled to some money, basically. Being misled and deceived by fame, fortune, and riches. Like, shares, subscribe, lights, cameras, and action. This is an actually true fact, you know? And they was doing this way before, you know, the pandemic. During the pandemic, because remember, all the liquor stores were closed. People was looking to drink during the pandemic, right? And some of the stores were closed too. So they was like, listen, there's a market for us to get money. We need to stretch our whiskey. We need to stretch whatever we got, our rum. We need to stretch it. Let's add in a little water. And people was drinking it. It was keeping them calm. They was getting drunks. A lot of these individuals became alcoholics. Thank the Lord that I had stopped drinking. And I never drunk any of that. But I seen people drinking that. People was buying bottles of that Fireball. They was buying bottles of it. Them little bottles, little pocket-sized bottles, little personal bottles. They was buying it. And whoever produced that, which was the company, they made a lot of money. They've been making a lot of money. And what comes with that, when you are doing dirt and when you are making this money, right? You're not understanding that it's time to quit it. You see, this sick, barbaric devil demon, what it does, it backdoor you. Because you are blinded by the money and by the fame and by the riches and whatever it has to offer you. So it gives you a long run of jeopardy. And you don't realize that you keep doing it, that you keep doing it, and that you keep doing it until you have your day in court. What is going on right now? So individuals that was drinking this, right, you're entitled to this class act that say that this was alcohol, this was whiskey, and this was Para Bay, and it wasn't. It was mixed in with other chemicals and water and stuff like that. Never mind that our children was drinking that, because it's in your local grocery stores. Anybody could pick it up and drink it. So people was getting drunk and getting high. So now that we got our young youth becoming alcoholics, but also you got individuals, right, was mixing it in, and it really wasn't risky. It was risky mixed in with water and other chemicals to keep you coming back for more and more and more and more. This is an actual fact, and this is what individuals do. This is what individuals do. They do this to you and I. Well, they was doing it to me, but I caught on to it. So I have been clean from alcohol. It's going to be 10 years. It's going to be 10 years next year. So it's been 9 years. I have not drunk no alcohol. So I really want to, pat myself on the back, because it wasn't easy getting off alcohol. But the thousands and hundreds of people, right, that pull up in these gas stations and get this Fireball, thinking that they drinking whiskey and they really drinking water and other chemicals. This is sad. This is sad, And Everything is for fame, fortune, and riches. Light shares to squabs, lights, cameras, and actions. Individuals don't know, they don't really care, they don't really know. So they were doing it since 2020, all the way up to now. You know, somebody had to report them. That's a long run. That is a long run, and this is the company that was doing it. So they had Parrot Bay, and they had the Fireball whiskey, and it was not none of these beverages that it said it was. It was mixed in with other stuff. And this is crazy how people do, man. Scamming people and getting over on people. You think that you're not going to get caught, but you will eventually, because you become greedy. You become greedy and blinded. Greedy and blinded. Greedy and blinded. And this is what's going on. So anyone that was drinking this alcohol, right, and we're drinking this whiskey and this rum, you are in the class act. So I'm gonna show a video that's up there. Bear with me. And you know, people don't care. People do not care, man. They do not care. You know, long as they have your liver, long as they have, and you consuming this, that's it. That's it. That's it for you.
Itself at the center of a liquor lawsuit. Those little mini bottles being sold at your neighborhood bodega, hey, they may not be whiskey.
And it feels like fire going down. It's a whiskey-flavored malt beverage. Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini explains why the controversy is hard to swallow for some customers.
Sold at convenience stores, gas stations, and supermarkets across New York State and beyond, Fireball Cinnamon. The bottles look almost identical to Fireball whiskey, but don't have any actual whiskey at all, according to a recent lawsuit just filed against the company that produces them.
It does make a claim on the bottom in really small print that it contains natural whiskey, which I believe and consumers believe is misleading as well, because what it actually contains is the smallest drop of whiskey flavor.
It's a malt-based beverage, says attorney Spencer Sheehan, who's the attorney representing Ana Marquez, the person taking on the Sazerac company. He said at this stage it's a proposed class action lawsuit.
The person in this case wants the company to label the product truthfully, to not mislead people, and obviously to to pay damages to the entire number of people, all the people who are affected.
It's an interesting suit.
Attorney Seth Berman has nothing to do with the lawsuit, but offers an opinion to Fox 5 News.
I do think they have merit. I think that given the closeness of the labeling between the alcoholic version of the beverage and the non-alcoholic version of the beverage, it's very hard to distinguish between the two.
But not everyone sees it that way.
This makes no sense to me at all.
John Bond runs Waitlist.co, a marketing consulting agency.
Big deal, right? Like, who's being hurt with this? They buy the product, I don't know, they like the other one, they get a little confused. It's like, I don't understand who's being hurt. That's just, the brand issue.
We reached out to the Sazerac company for comment. They declined because the litigation is pending. Stephanie Bertini, Fox 5 News.
Look what this German spray does to any car paint intent.
Listen, we're gonna say this right here. We're gonna say this right here, right? It's misleading. It's misleading. Basically, you should pay for the damages. So this is the actually company, but they didn't have no whiskey in it. It was no rum, Parrot Bay, and Fireball whiskey. It was no whiskey in it. It was a drop of whiskey, and everything else was whatever chemicals. So basically, you use the people to get money for fame, fortune, and riches. 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 Yes. So now it came back to bite you. Anybody that was drinking this from 2020 all the way to 25, and I know people are still drinking this. A lot of people don't know that this is going on. You are part of this class act right here. And what you need to do is get your money, because you consume this and you don't know what you consume. You don't know what you consume. You don't know the chemicals that you consume. They did this during time where people was in a house and they used COVID to get their money up, because at that time the liquor stores was closed. Everything was closed. And they got a lot of money. They had it in every grocery store. They had it in the supermarkets. They had it in the gas stations. You pull up, they had it there, you know? And then on top of it, our children had access to this. Our children was drinking that had access to it. That's an actual fact. So that means that they wasn't getting drunk. It was some sweetener or whatever it was. That means they had to buy bottles of it just to get drunk. Anybody that ever drunk before, if you have a little bit of whiskey in it, you're gonna get drunk and you're gonna become addicted. And this is exactly what happened. You know, they did this for fame, fortune, and riches. Fame, fortune, and riches. Fame, fortune, and riches. Where this whiskey, right, in Pebble Bay is very, very cheap. If you go to the liquor store, they very, very cheap. They bottom up the battle, mixed in with cinnamon. Anybody that was loving cinnamon, they're gonna grab that up. And that's exactly what happened. And they should pay for damages. And they should pay for our children drinking this. This is an actual true fact, you know? This is how it is, man. When you do things for fame, fortune, and riches, it come back to bite you in your butt. It come back to bite you in your butt. It come back to bite you in your butt. So anyone that was drinking this, you're down with the class act. And I just want to drop that on your guys. Your guys have an amazing, amazing afternoon. Peace, y'all. Peace, 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 peace.